We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak for Thursday, February 15th. I'm your host, Chris Kiefer, and we're going to take a look at the top news and sports stories from Northeast Mississippi. But first, let's start with your weather forecast. Today calls for partly cloudy skies with a high of 73 and a low of 60, 30% chance of rain. Looking ahead at your 3-day outlook, Friday, 70% chance of rain, high of 62 and a low of 41. Saturday, more rain, that's 100% chance, high of 52 and a low of 38. And Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 62, low of 55. Let's take a look now at today's top headlines. The Mississippi House of Representatives approved a bill on Wednesday to exempt college graduates working in the state from having to pay a state income tax for 3 years. The bill was authored by Senatobia Republican Trey Lamar as an effort to address what some believe is a brain drain of young college-educated Mississippians leaving the state for better-paying jobs. In recent years, the legislature has passed about 50 tax cuts that will take more than $700 million out of the state revenue collections when fully phased in. Lamar argued his bill would not have a negative impact on state revenue collections since college students most likely were not paying taxes prior to earning their degrees. Under the current form of the legislation, the tax credit would be capped at $5 million annually. It is not clear what would occur after the state awarded $5 million in tax credits. The bill would apply to someone who earns a 4-year degree from a Mississippi school or to a Mississippi resident who earns a degree from an out-of-state school. Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton is urging the City Council to approve a $14 million renovation plan for the city's event arena and conference center. The bulk of that money would go toward a significant expansion of the BancorpSouth Conference Center. That is according to information presented to the Tupelo City Council on Tuesday afternoon. The conference center is located next to the arena. The arena and currently existing conference center would also see some overdue maintenance and would receive some upgrades and additional amenities. Shelton said the goal is to transform the arena and conference center into more of a premier venue. Although the project carries a significant price tag, Shelton said no tax increase will be needed to service the debt on the necessary bonds. Under the current plans, the conference center would expand by about 15,000 square feet. That would nearly double the available space. The expansion would move the building's footprint further to the west, toward what is now parking space. A final vote on the issue is set to occur at a later date. The Tupelo School District's Career and Technical Education Center is eyeing 2 new additions for the upcoming school year. TPSD Assistant Superintendent Andy Cantrell said the district hopes to add a law and public safety program as well as additional culinary arts classes. Plans for the addition of the classes have been in the works since last spring. The 2 programs were selected based on student interest surveys and a continually high demand for more seats in culinary arts classes. Cantrell said the Mississippi Department of Education's Office of Career and Technical Education has already approved the 2 teacher slots. It has also agreed to pay 49% of the cost of adding the positions. Some renovations have also been done recently at the CTE to prepare for additional classes. The addition of the 2 programs and 2 new teaching positions will be brought before the district school board in March for approval. And in sports, the East Union boys and TCPS girls won state bowling championships on Wednesday. The East Union boys won a decisive 5th game against defending state champion Kossuth for the school's 4th state title. It is their first title since 2010. The TCPS girls swept East Union for their first championship. In the best of 5 roll-off, the 5 bowlers on each team alternate frames. After losing the first game, East Union won the next 2, but lost the 4th. East Union got off to a fast start in the final game with strikes by Jay Tate, Cameron Daw, and Bo Nobles in the first 3 frames. They went on to a 193 to 163 victory. The Tupelo Christian girls team was in 3rd place after 2 preliminary games, trailing 2nd place Kossuth by 17 points. Following games of 703 and 712, the Lady Eagles rolled a 762 team score to finish at 2,177 pins. Tupelo Christian then swept the roll-off. That does it for Newsbreak on this Thursday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal to get you news off the page and on the go. This week's episode of the Memo podcast examines the latest school funding debate. and McKent and I compare the Mississippi Adequate Education Program with the new formula that's working its way through the legislature. We also look at how schools use all of that money. Listen at Apple Podcast and Google Play or online at memo.djournal.com. And listen to the Prep Rally podcast for the latest in Northeast Mississippi high school sports with hosts Brad Locke and Dalton Middleton. On Wednesday's episode, they talked about the basketball division tournaments, including a must-win game for the Tupelo boys. Also, the Saltillo boys soccer team is playing for a title. Listen in Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or at preprally.djournal.com. And each story discussed on Newsbreak can be found in your daily journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also catch a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning at 7 a.m. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Kiefer. Have a great Thursday.